Madam Speaker, electronic forensic science labs were inhibited, encrypted, blockchain पे वो sealed है. अब tampering कैसे हो सकता मैडम स्पीकर, कैसे हो सकता? मैडम स्पीकर, third most important issue, lack of expertise. मैडम स्पीकर, when we entered this government in 2014, we understood the forensic sphere, the intellectual sphere of this country is not so great. We inherited the worst. But in 2020, we deployed National Forensic Science University, world's first dedicated forensic university, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, 2020 లో స్టార్ట్ చేశాం. ఇది 2026 nearly 13 campuses ఇచ్చాం with 340% enrollment rate, 5,000 specialists by 2027, Madam Speaker. Now, Madam Speaker, after I end this speech, I don't know what the opposition will be left with. Either narratives or facts, because facts हमारे पास आपके भी ज़्यादा है. Madam Speaker, apart from all of that, I want to speak about one important thing, Madam Speaker. Everybody thinks this is a very small issue, but it is a structural issue, Madam Speaker. As I have already mentioned, the principal offence rule. Why they are not presenting the full reality of the crime, Madam Speaker? This is the only question that I'm asking.
Madam Speaker, let's be honest here. They have been speaking about statistics, and statistics. What are these statistics proving here? It's literally proving nothing. Now the real question is the justice really being served in India? The ruling party here is speaking for the sake of the ruling, and the opposition there is speaking for the sake of opposition. But me, here as an independent member of the parliament, I am speaking for the sake of the common man outside these four air-conditioned walls. Now the real question is the justice really being served in this nation?
Honorable Member, the matter is taken on record, but kindly wait for your turn.
Madam Speaker, I don't agree to the fact that justice is not delivered in India. Justice is delivered in India. पूरी शिद्दत के साथ justice delivery हो रही है. Madam Speaker, she talked about principal offence rule, Madam Speaker. Principal offence rule is not something which we invented in 2026 and we're doing it from now or in our regime. It has been continuing since decades. But principal offence rule అంటే ఏంటంటే Madam Speaker, ఉత్తరప్రదేశ్లో ఒక క్రైమ్ జరిగింది, అందులో ఒక రేప్, ఒక మర్డర్, ఒక రాబరీ ఇన్వాల్వ్ అయినప్పుడు the gravest offence is considered. The severity of the question posed by our opposition, I can understand it, Madam Speaker. But at the end of the day, when we include all those offences, the aggregate numbers will be inflated, Madam Speaker. అది double counting కి దారితీస్తుంది. In our Ministry of Home Affairs press releases లో కానీ లేకపోతే మా NCRB report లో కానీ when we mention the category wise offences, we never do under reporting, we never do under counting. We make sure every offence, even the rape, the murder, the robbery, which she mentioned or I mentioned, all those offences, when we are ensuring a category wise listing, we will mention, but in the aggregate terms we won't, because numbers will be inflated, and this is not the standard of India. This is standard applied internationally across various nations, Madam Speaker.
The matter stands concluded. Let's move to the next question relating to the Ministry of Finance. I call upon the concerned member who has submitted their question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, today I see the Finance Minister sitting there with her folders full of screenshots and robust projections. It really looks cute. It's like watching a pilot announce a smooth landing while the engines are literally falling off the wings. Let's talk about the data the ministry is so fond of. She'll tell you the GDP is growing at 7%, but I want to ask exactly whose GDP? The GDP of the 5 people who own half the country? While you celebrate the 1.7 lakh crore GST collections, why don't you tell the House that 54% of that tax is squeezed from the bottom 50% of the population? Actually, you aren't running an economy. but you're running a sophisticated extortion racket. Now, will the finance minister stop hiding behind these micro-villagers and explain to the 80 crore people she feeds on free rations since she clearly failed to give them jobs? Why the household savings of this country are at a 47-year low? Is this your Naya Bharat? An India where youth has degrees but no jobs? Now, madam, if you're really capable of, give us a proper answer, not a maths lesson.
I now call our Honorable Finance Minister, Srimati Chitra, to kindly respond.
Madam Speaker, I have listened to the Honorable Member. The member really asked a very impressive question. She asked for an answer that isn't a math lesson. I can understand. For some people, numbers are a source of clarity. For others, they are a source of profound physical discomfort. Let me talk about data. She claimed that I love so much. Madam Speaker, I don't love data. I respect reality, something that opposition needs like a distant relative that they haven't met in years. They call GST a system that dismantles 17 internal checkpoints and unified a fragmented nation, an extortion racket, Madam Speaker. Let me give them a non-math reality check, as they asked. Gross GST collection reached 17.4 lakh crore in just 9 months of this year. That's a 6.7% year-on-growth, Madam Speaker. If collecting taxes to build 5,634 kilometers of high-speed corridor up from your pathetic 550 kilometers of corridor if it is extortion, then I suppose providing the member with the very road that she took to get to Parliament morning is also a crime, Madam Speaker. And also, whose GDP? She asked with some practice fox outrage, did you rehearse it in front of mirror on your private jet?
We need to rehearse and we need to think, madam, because you don't think about the people, right? At least we should.
Obviously, they need to rehearse, madam, because otherwise they can't ask us a fake question to mislead the public. Okay, Madam Speaker, according to them, if GDP only belonged to 5 billionaires, then what about the $701.4 billion in our RBI wallet, Madam Speaker? What about them? Did the 5 billionaires save that? Or the 164 airports we have now, up from their pathetic 74, are they only for billionaires, Madam Speaker? They are for the common citizens who are dreaming for the first time to fly, Madam Speaker. They are talking about billionaires, but their policies are the one which birthed it for the concept called phone banking system, where whole banking sector was used like their personal ATM card for their special friends. They left us with a double-digit NPA crisis. Maybe they don't know what is the meaning of NPA, ask them to refer. And they are reverse questioning us now. We didn't create billionaires, Madam Speaker. We created accountability and transparency. That's why people are able to see the billionaires now where they are hit in their tenure. Okay. Maybe they know about the concept called direct benefit transfer. We have sent over 4.09 lakh crore directly into farmers' bank accounts. In your era, 15 paise of every rupee reached the poor. Where did the other 85 paise go?
Madam Speaker, the people have given her a position of a finance minister, not as a history lecture. Always digging the past doesn't help.
Madam Speaker, I am not giving any history lecture. Madam Speaker, I repeat, I am not giving any history lecture. I am questioning their accountability, Madam Speaker. And also, Madam Speaker, the member asked me for a non-math lesson. So, if she finds basic addition and subtraction as arrogant, so ask her to consult a primary school teacher now, not ask a finance minister for an answer. And also, she asked me to answer if I am capable, Madam Speaker. Yes, I am perfectly capable of giving you the answer, but I am perfectly incapable of giving you the intellect to understand the answer that I give.
Madam Speaker, she can't explain her policy clearly. It's her failure. It's not our failure of understanding intelligence.
Madam Speaker, that is why I recommended a primary school tutor, Madam Speaker, right now. Madam Speaker,
Primary user to understand the double GST, okay?
Madam Speaker, I am done with my answer.
This matter stands concluded. Let's move to the next question. Start question number 3 concerning the Ministry of Commerce. I request Honorable Member who has submitted their question.
Thank you, Honorable. beautifully scripted illusion they call everything is fine. This government is not short of achievements, Madam Speaker. It is short of honesty and reality. They say India is a bright spot in global economy. But let me ask, only when the lights of data are switched off? ये लोग announcement rocket की speed से करते हैं और execution बैलगाड़ी की speed से. Let me talk about the ministry's own data, Madam Speaker. The ministry's own numbers shows that while gross FDI is increasing, the net FDI is declining. What does this mean? Investors are bringing money in, but they are also taking money out almost equally fast. So I asked the Honorable Minister, if the money comes in the morning and exits by evening, what is it? Is it an investment or a transit? सिर्फ पैसा आ जाने से विकास नहीं हो जाता मैडम, पैसा रुकने से, बढ़ने से और रोजगार देने से विकास होता है. और and what matters to India is not the money which comes in for headlines, but the money which stays, build factories and give jobs to the people. So the public is asking why the confidence is not staying and the net FDI is declaring. I request the Honorable Minister to answer.
I now call our Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industry, Shri Vidya, to kindly respond.
Honorable Speaker, I thank the Honorable Member for the concern. But I must say, the understanding of modern economics to be stuck in 1990s. The number point out to decline net FDI as if they were a sign of weakness. Let me give this house the real unfiltered facts. Our gross FDI inflows is the only true measure of how much the world trusts India. Have hit a strategic 81.2 billion. This is the all-time high. The world isn't just looking at India, the world is investing in India. The net FDI fell to 0.4 to 0.6 and the outflow. The Indian companies invested 29.3 billion abroad and reputation of profits by foreign firms stood by 52 billion. The member says money is living. My Honorable Speaker, money only lives where money is made. These investors are booking profits because Indian markets are the most profitable in the world.
If capital is coming and going so quickly, then what exactly are we building on the ground? Are we creating real manufacturing strength or are we just manufacturing producers with temporary capital?
Honorable Speaker, you cannot reach the roof without climbing the ladder. No nation in history, not China, not Japan, not South Korea, become a manufacturing giant overnight. They start with assembly. Madam Speaker, we have broken the import-only cycle that the opposition left us in. Today, we are not just assembling, we are creating a base. Does the member think that a 100 billion semiconductor system grows on trees?
Yes, madam. Assembling creates jobs, but deep manufacturing creates power. Yes, assembling creates factories, but manufacturing creates technological leadership. Assembling creates factories, Madam Speaker, but manufacturing creates technological leadership. So I asked the concerned minister, India launched a vision called Make in India with a bold vision. Manufacturing should reach 25% of GDP. But today, it did not even reach 15 to 17%. 25 is not even close.
Madam Speaker, it is fallacy to say manufacturing is localized. Under our National Industrial Corridor Development Program, we have moved beyond traditional hubs of Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. Look at Uttar Pradesh.
Are we making in India or are we assembling in India? Let me give you an example of mobile phones, Madam Speaker. India today exports around 15 to 20 billion dollar worth mobile phones every year. That sounds impressive. But here's the real question. How much of it is made in India? Chips come from Taiwan or Korea. Display come from Southeast Asia. High-end processors come from abroad. Camera lenses come from abroad. Advanced batteries come from abroad. And India finally mainly does the final assembly. Is this real manufacturing?
Honorable Minister, I was telling the locations here. Manufacturing is done in India.
If we import the heart, import the brain, and only assemble the body, is it real manufacturing? Is my question.
That's why I was mentioning the places, right? That's why I was mentioning from north, south, east, and west.
Okay, Madam Speaker. They are mentioning about where is this manufacturing happening? Only in few states like Gujarat, Maharashtra, and near ports where the coastline is good, not near people. They are not rising factories near people, madam. And industrial corridors must rise near people, not near ports. So, answering to the respected member's question, so according to the member, if names are only mentioned in the list, then only the manufacturing is happening, right? Then only the development is happening, right? So let me bring a topic. During the Union Budget speech in 2004 to 5, 17 states were not mentioned in the budget itself.
Right?
2005 to 6, 18, 2006 to 7, 13, 2007 to 8, 16, 2008 to 10, again 13, and 2009 to 10. 26 states are not mentioned in the Union Budget itself. Only Uttar Pradesh is mentioned. So, according to you, whole budget of India was allocated to only Uttar Pradesh. If you agree with this, we'll agree with your point.
Madam Speaker, we have a lot of history teachers in our parliament right here. It's better to keep them and send them to primary schools rather than being here. Madam Speaker, if the only reason that they are being here is to accuse our past, then see, every answer here takes me back to early 2000s and 1950s and 1970s. Where is there accountability, honesty and transparency? Answer to the question that we have posed.
Madam Speaker, clearly leader of opposition in previous session stated that we build the foundation for what you are running in.
Madam
So
Speaker,
their foundation.
మా governance చదివినందుగా if they have read their governance and their conditions of the country in their era, it would be good to the people.
Madam Speaker, early conditions లో వాళ్ళు లేరు సరే. 2013 లో కూడా వాళ్ళే ఉన్నారు కదా. టాప్ 15 ఎకానమీస్ లో కూడా లేరు మేడం వాళ్ళు. ఇప్పుడు మేడం కూడా ఫాస్టెస్ట్ గ్రోయింగ్ ఎకానమీ మేడం అంటే ఇప్పుడు లీడ్ ఆఫ్ ద పేపర్
This matter shall go off record if this continues to be a debate. Let this be a peaceful discussion.
Madam Speaker, I am not over yet. Then Minister is speaking. They need to listen and acknowledge that is the protocol of the House. You don't entertain them. Please let me complete my speech. Every time the opposition raises a question, the government doesn't answer. It time stands 60 years, 70 years. What did you do? Let me say this today so that every citizen sitting here understands. Partition distanced 14 million people. Literacy rate was around 12%. Life expectancy was just 32 years. Food shortages were so severe that we had to depend on imports. India's share in GDP fell to 3%, and more than 560 princely states had yet to be integrated. And many independent nations struggled with instability and authority. But India chose democracy, and India sustained it. This did not happen by accident. This happened by effort. Our effort. Let me talk about your efforts also. Tell about license Raj. License Raj. Every regulation don't happen like that. And comes to the economic reform. 1991, Madam Speaker. LPG reforms, Madam Speaker. LPG reforms, Madam Speaker. Globalization. It was these reforms curtailed the license Raj. Okay, Madam Speaker. Talk about LPG reforms that she is glorifying right now. Madam Speaker, LPG reforms, the situation is in 1 week country will collapse, financial emergency will eat us. Then we begged every country in the world. We begged USSR because of disintegration it's busy. USA it won't help us anytime. Any country, no country didn't help us. We went to IMF, we begged them. Then they told on what rationale we should give you. That's why with no choice in the movement economy then Madam Speaker, that too they modified and already given credit to IMF Madam Speaker. And they put no one will tell the past history Madam Speaker. And see later economic reforms Madam Speaker, then only we entered into capitalism. independent in 2013, Madam Speaker. Okay, Madam Speaker. China got independent in 1949. South Asian Asia.
Madam, China is a less control. This is a democracy. China is not a democratic country.
Madam, even we opted socialist power to 1991, Madam, with brutally made.
They built this nation brick by brick, institution by institution, constitution by constitution. It did not fall from the sky. The democracy you are sitting in, the democracy you are enjoying, did not fall from the sky. We built it institution by institution.
That's not members, this matter is going off record and the debate is concluded. And according to the intensity of the debates happened now, the House is adjourned. Thank you.